Hey guys, how's it going? Shinobi here, and today I'm bringing you a video on doing a profession, and this time we're doing enchanting. Now for me, I don't like going out there and farming a bunch of materials and taking forever. I mean, yeah, it's a lot cheaper to do it that way, but I usually just buy the materials off the auction house if I have the gold for it, and then level up professions. Now, recently I came to the Alliance. I've been on the Alliance for a couple months now, but majority of my World of Warcraft career has been on the Horde. So I have every profession on the Horde, but on the Alliance, I didn't really have very many. So I've leveled up a bunch of 90s on the Alliance, and now I'm getting a bunch of professions. So if you want to see a profession in the future, in the next episode that I do for this type of thing, tell me which one you'd like to see. I already did Jewelcrafting. I'll have an annotation on the screen. You can go check out that one. Give you some tips there and show you pretty much everything. So I am speeding through this right now so you can see, you know, kind of a vague like which materials that I'm using. The reason I don't list a bunch of materials that you should buy is because it is different for everybody on different servers and everything like that. I mean, you want to pay the least amount of gold that you can. So when you see those websites that have these, you know, buy all these materials and that's what you're going to need to level everything up, those aren't completely true because the prices vary on every server. You want to just look at you want to use the least amount of materials possible, and you also want to spend the least amount of gold. So typically when I'm doing this, I mean, you can follow what I did if the prices are good for you, but typically when I do this type of thing, I look on what materials are needed, and then I see, okay, you only need one of these, or you need like 3 of these. Well, you want to go with the one. So I pick, okay, so in this situation you see that I just needed the strange dust there instead of needing a bunch of different materials. Now you see they need strange dust and small glimmering shard. So that makes a difference because you got to buy more materials. So try to use the least amount of materials as possible while you're doing this, and then go in and look at how much those materials are. I did spend a decent amount of gold doing this because when I got up to infinite dust was really expensive on my server, and you need it a lot when you're leveling up enchanting like this. So keep that in mind as well. If you have a lot of like low level green items, I would say that one thing you can do is you can just disenchant up to a certain point, and that'll get you some extra skills off the bat and save you some gold. One thing I like to do back in the day when I'd level up enchanting is I would go to dead mines and some of the lower level instances and just AoE the whole thing. Then I would grab all the greens and then I would just disenchant all of them, and it builds it up a little bit better for you. It gives you a little bit of a head start when you're doing this. So coming up soon, I have a video on me disenchanting 800 rings/amulets. That's why I'm getting enchanting up right now, because that video is going to be out in the next few days. It's going to be epic. I can't wait to do it, and it's pretty much a test to see how much gold you can make off of disenchanting that many green/blue items. But I do have some tips for you also that I've already given you some tips, but I have some more tips for you. So let's go run through those while you're looking at this enchanting thing. And if you want to pause the video in certain points to see what I did, go ahead and do that. Be like, oh, okay, he bought 38 of or 58 of the greater mystic essence or something like that. Then that way you can pause and see, okay, that's how many I'm gonna need and everything like that. So let's get into some of the tips. Now the first tip right off the bat is when I am leveling up a profession, it could be enchanting, it could be any profession at all, what I'm doing is I'm pretty much using all the materials that I can until whatever it is turns green. Sometimes when it's green, I may even still try and pump it out a little bit more. You can see right here I'm doing that just to get a little bit extra because I have the materials. If I don't need any more greater mystic essences, then I'm going to use up the rest of what I have. So that's something that's really good too. Now another tip I can give you is farming materials may be cheaper, but it is a lot slower. It takes you a lot longer, plus you don't know exactly what materials you need. So if because as you're leveling up, you may need this, that, whatever. It's really just different. So, in my opinion, I like to do it this way more, where you're actually just going to the mailbox and you're grabbing all of this and that. And I just like it that way. It is more expensive to do that. So if you're going to do any of these professions, enchanting, jewelcrafting, blacksmithing, whatever the case may be, you can go to a website called warcraftprofessional.com, warcraft-professional.com I think it is, or just Warcraft Professional. one of those two. You can go there and you can see how much it's going to cost you typically to buy stuff up the auction house. So make sure you have at least that much gold. If that thing's not always right, I like to usually have about 20,000-30,000 gold on me if I'm going to do something like this. For like the higher up in professions, if you're doing like a lower profession like tailoring, tailoring was really cheap for me. Inscription was really cheap. I think it cost me 4,000 gold to go from 1 to 600 with inscription, so that's just really cheap. But yeah, so right now I do have inscription, mining, jewel crafting, enchanting, and those are the ones that I have on the Alliance right now. So if you want to see any other ones, let me know. Please don't pick blacksmithing. It's probably going to be expensive as crap, but if you guys want it, maybe I'll do it. So let's go to another one here. Use your bag, use like a bag add-on. Now this is a really good thing. You can see that I use LUI, which is my UI that I use. I custom built, I mean it's a UI that's a custom built UI, but then I also tweak some things and change some things. People ask me for it all the time, where it is. Just go look back in my playlist on my channel, and you can see what I use. If you want me to put like a link to it in the description, just let me know. But I did make a video about this a while ago, and if you want it, I'll put an annotation on the screen or something too, so you can go back and look at that. I tell you how to set it up. But the reason I tell you to use like a bag add-on, you can get Bagon, which is BAGNON, or you can get the UI that I'm using, which is LUI. So what you do is you pick up the bags and you put it right next to the enchanting profession thing. You can see right here, right? Just click, 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 click very quickly, so you can do it a lot faster. Now I'm buying a bunch of vellums so I can craft my own scrolls that I can throw up on the auction house after. Back in the day, you had to like take your like a bracer and then you would just like re-enchant it over and over again. Not only did it take longer, but you're also wasting gold. This is actually nice that you can do this now. You've been able to do it for a while, but it's definitely better than it used to be back in the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So now another tip that I kind of already talked about a little bit is don't buy all the materials first on the auction house. Now what I mean by this is, we talked about earlier how you don't want to look up a website and see these are all the materials and then go buy all that stuff, but you also want to just kind of go by each thing. So like I could look on here and I could see what I'm going to need for the next thing already and just buy more materials every time, so it's less trips to the auction house. But the reason that I do that is because I want to watch the gold that I'm spending as I'm doing it, because you don't know how many, like it starts off orange, then yellow, then green. You don't know exactly when it's going to turn green. You don't know exactly when it's going to turn yellow. So to buy the correct amount, so that way you use all of the items that you spent, and that actually makes it a lot better. So the next thing here is going to be train all the skills that you can for enchanting or any profession. I like to buy them all because I mean they're cheap, 2 gold, 3 gold, 4 gold, whatever, to buy each one, but it gives you more possibilities to level up your skills for a lot cheaper, and just gives you more options pretty much. One thing you can do as well is go on the auction house and buy up all the little plans and stuff like that, so that way you can have more options. If you can get them really cheap, do that too, that way, because you never know, you may be like, oh man, I mean there's no materials in the auction house for infinite dust, or it's really expensive like it was here, but I don't know what else to do because I don't have any other ones that are going to give me any skill points. So it's nice you go in the auction house and find some extra ones, and maybe that'll help you out and everything like that. The next one here is going to be don't overpay. Now that's a tip that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of obvious. You're like, well, duh, Shinobi, we don't want to spend a lot of gold. But you don't want to overpay to the point, like, you can pay a little bit extra, because usually, I mean, I did in this video, I spent a considerable amount of gold, more than I wanted to. However, you don't want to pay too much, because you don't want to spend, like, you may only need, like, 10 more skills until you get to 600, you're 590 out of 600, but it's going to cost you 1,000 gold for a stack of spirit dust. Don't do it. Like, that's just kind of outrageous. Some people will actually do that, and it's kind of ridiculous, so just be careful. Also, you may be wondering, why are you not using TSM? I see you buying things through here. I don't use TSM because I make a lot of WoW videos, and I know a lot of people do use TSM, but the majority of people don't. So I want my videos to be able so you can copy exactly what I did. Very simple, very easy, and not have any problems. That's pretty much just answering a question that someone asked me in the past. Also here, save all your crafted items too. Whenever you get items, you want to save them, because you don't know if they're going to be needed later on while you're doing professions and stuff like that, because not only for enchanting but other professions too, that happens where you don't know if you might need them later. You may be leveling something that's not enchanting, and you get a bunch of items that you can later on and level up enchanting and disenchant all those items and give yourself an edge too. So save them all until the end. That's what I do here. You can see that I save all the scrolls, and then I vendor the ones that I can't sell in the auction house, and then I throw up on the auction house the ones that I can. So that's pretty much it too. Another tip I can give you is pick a spot that is close to a mailbox / the trainer / the auction house. Now the reason I use this spot here is because I went to look a little nicer. I probably could have went to like Darnassus or something like that, but you know, Stormwind is like the popular place for the Alliance, so I picked it just for kind of showmanship on this particular video, just because, you know, I know, you know, when you're a YouTuber, you want to make the video a little more interesting. So if you're just seeing like, you know, boring Iron Forge or something like that, it might make the video a little less interesting. And plus, a lot of people on my server, you know, there's a lot of people on Darksphere, and a lot of those people watch my videos, so it's nice for them to be able to see themselves in some clips and everything like that. So if you saw yourself in here, let me know what your name was and everything like that. So we are getting right to the end here. We're about to hit 600. From 500 to 600, it's really cheap for materials. I think you need 120 Spirit Dust and 30 Mysterious Essence, and that's pretty much all you need to go from like 500 to 600. But that is everything, guys, and that'll be 600. That video will be out very shortly on disenchanting 800 rings / amulets. I hope you did enjoy this. Hit a thumbs up, and also look at those annotations to go see the other videos I made in the past, some more gold guides and just guides in general. And I want to thank you for watching. My name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.